All right, this Ciro 3D stuff's been sitting on the workbench for a while. We always got lots of projects going on. I'll get to these here anyways. Obviously, highway pegs, you know, for your engine guards on your Harley or actually any bike, if you have round bar on your engine guards, really. Super high quality. I just grabbed these out of the package and you feel them right away, you know that's Ciro stuff. So there's the footrests and the hingeless clamps here, they call them. Let's see what exactly these are named. So it's the hingeless clamps Clevis with Twin Rail Footrests. There's the part number, Ciro. Of course, fits 1 1/4 engine guards again. So good on a lot of different motorcycles, not just Harley. Comes with all the hardware. Yeah, those are super nice. Welcome back, Bikeaholics. Ryan Urlacher here, lawabidingbiker.com. I always thank you, that's right, you, for checking back in. Okay, so I have literally had these old pegs on here that I'm taking off for a long time, since I got the bike, like in 2014. But I am super stoked to get these new Ciro 3D adjustable, bigger pegs. It's gonna be really nice, especially for this trip coming up here. Allen wrench. Oh my God, those have been on there a long time. And we'll put these in the parts box. Maybe somebody will use them. Off with the old, on with the new. Okay, so this is how they come in the package. There is some adjustment and a big bolt right there, and should be loose enough we're gonna have to take that off. All right, and if you didn't see, that breaks apart like that. It's just got a notch so you can get it around your bars and notch it back over here and kind of get it where you want it. I actually want to go the other way with that. That way that star side right there is the way I want it. And we'll hook it back in there. All right, we'll put this back on. So just make sure that these stars, obviously, grooves, whatever you want to call them, line up on this the same way so they don't spin around on you. And I'm going to go back in with that bolt and washer. All right, that's a good start. And I'm not going to tighten anything down because we want to get these all adjusted. And you can see that just gives me some room to slide these back and forth. I'll have to get on the bike and figure out exactly where I want them. Okay, so this is our foot rail here. You can see it's also got the grooves in there, matches up on the peg mount here. And these have a lot of adjustment, whichever way you want them. One thing to note is your kit will come with this. And make sure that you put the washer on it, all right? If you find yourself, and it actually goes right in the bottom here. That's where that goes with the washer on. All right, and it comes through right there. Then this goes on. If you find yourself putting these on, and this bolt obviously goes right into the end here. If you find yourself putting this on and you can't get it tight enough and this is spinning, it's because you probably forgot the washer. That kind of stops it in there, so to speak, and gets everything tight. So it tightens up real nice. All right, and these do come in black or chrome, both the clamp system and the footrest. Of course, there are different footrests. There's a different clamping systems, all kinds of stuff. Anyways, guys, if you appreciate this video and all the free videos we put out to help as many bikers as we can worldwide, you can support us. We carry these right in the Law Abiding Biker store. I will link to it in the description below. We really appreciate your support, making sure that we can continue to put out these videos. All right, and with that said, I've got my 1/4 inch Allen hex head, whatever you want to call it. The washer's on there. And now I can just start it right on the end here. Pretty simple. And again, I'm just getting it started. I'm not going to crank it down. All right, and right about there, you can see it gives me some play. And I've got play here too. So that I can really kind of adjust these, you know, where I want. I can scoot them around. All right, another thing I may have breezed over, just make sure, so you can see these are kind of upside down basically because you want to flip them up when you're not using them. And right now they flip down. That's why I left everything loose, and you can just adjust these around. So we want to go ahead and I'm just going to turn this up over like that, make sure these pegs are up. Now, once I get everything adjusted down and I'm not using them, they'll flip up against the engine guard. So just something to be aware of, make sure they're the right way. Okay, so now I can jump on the motorcycle and really get a feel for where these are supposed to be. And I'm short and I don't have real long feet, so I end up having to have my foot pegs, regardless of what kind they are, somewhere in there. Stretch out, kind of give yourself a feel. Of course, we can slide these up and down on here. We can move them here. We still got that adjustment, and that's why we didn't tighten anything down. We can adjust that too a little bit. So really, from this point, you just got to manipulate them where you want. And so some of you riders with tall legs may have these adjusted all the way out straight, or even maybe a little bit forward. Really, it's up to you. Comes down to personal preference. I'm short, so I kind of got to have them set in like this. All right, now with my 3/4 inch socket, I can go ahead and grab this big bolt on the back side here, and I can start tightening things down. All right, there's one more bolt I want to talk about. It is right there, and it actually pinches this footrest in between here, so you can put them up. Just make sure it's tight. Again, 5/16 inch hex head, and you just don't want that to be too loose, and you certainly don't want to over tighten it. We just want this to feel real nice. It's actually got notches. As you go up, you'll feel it. But again, just make sure it's not too loose. All right, so if you're gonna get serious about touring and long distance riding, comfort is everything. And those of you that do it know exactly what I'm talking about. So I definitely say get hooked up with some of these awesome highway pegs from Ciro 3D. Get them installed on your bike. It'll make your riding more pleasurable.